Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Paramananda Madhavam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrinkarani. Then Mudhajahihi dhanagama trishnam kuru sadbuddhim manasi vitrishnam labhase nija karmopatam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kali, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dhukrinkarani. Mudajahihi dhanagama trishnam. O fool! That word fool is not a criticism. That fool is not coming out of anger. That expression fool is coming out of love and compassion. That is out of love and compassion for all of us. O fool, jahihi, give up, dhanagama trishnam. Give up this insatiable greed. Give up this insatiable craving. Give up this preoccupation. With what? With earning wealth. Dhana is wealth, dhana agama. Agama is to, for it to come, meaning earning. And then, so it is not said give up wealth. It is not said give up earning wealth. But what is said? Give up the Trishna. Give up that overpowering desire for earning wealth. Overpowering. That nothing is there in your mind except that. Don't do that. It's not worth it. It doesn't require that much of dedication. Your attention, your dedication can be for higher things. Kuru sadbuddhim. Turn your attention, turn your thoughts towards reality. Kuru sadbuddhim. In your Kuru sadbuddhim, where manasi, in your mind. In your mind, let your thoughts turn towards the higher reality. And then what? Vitrishnam. In your mind also create that sense of dispassion. Money will come, money will go. Money is meant for using. What is the point in hoarding? Money should be used for good purposes. That way, create in your mind a sense of dispassion, a sense of detachment. Then how will I live my life? How will I achieve my things, whatever I want to achieve? Yellabase nija karmopatam. Whatever you are able to gain with your nija karma, with your activities, with your duties, with your responsibilities. And above all, nija karma refers to one's swabhava karma. Each one of us are blessed with a capacity, an interest, a talent, an inclination, a passion. With that, you fulfill that, express that in full. And as you express that in full, you will find what you require will always be there. You will find that. But use it creatively. Use it in the sense, use it creatively. Creatively means what? Whatever, bring all your talents to full expression. Rather than finding out and thinking, I don't have this talent, I don't have this capacity, I don't have this strength, that person has got that strength, and because that person has got that strength, that person is able to achieve this and that, whereas I don't have. You find out what is your core strength and give full attention to that core strength. Wherever you require to attain something or other, to add on to it, what is possible to you, do it. But what is not your core talent? What is not your core ability? Don't stop. Stop brooding over what you don't have. Rather think how you can express to fullness your own capacities. Yellabase nija karmopatam. With that, vittam tena vinodaya chittam. And keep your mind cheerful. Vinodaya. Vinodaya means? Let there be happiness within. Let there be contentment within. Let there be satisfaction within. Right? Because what is important is not that. Because that will come, that will go. And you're not going to carry anything with you when you go. There is a very interesting story of Alexander, who conquered almost 3/4 of the known world of those times. It is said that when he told, when he was not keeping well, he knew that he was about to die and all. It is said that he told his ministers that when I die, in my coffin or whatever it is, you have 2 holes on both sides, and then extend my hand outside, out of the coffin. And then when you carry my body, let everyone see that the one who conquered 3/4 of the world is going empty-handed. I remember another interesting story. The story of Socrates. It seems that every day, without stop, he would take a journey he will just walk around the streets where they have all shops and all kinds of various shops, whatever selling and all those things. Window shopping, he would go everywhere. Every day. And he won't purchase a single thing. The fellow did not have even a slippers to wear. Not that he did not have, he didn't want. He was that kind of person. But every day he will go window shopping. And his Sishyas also used to come. One day, one Sishya could not bear to keep quiet. He said, Master, I have a question. I said, what? Every day I have been watching As soon as dusk falls and the shops are all lit, you take a walk for all these shops, but you don't purchase anything. Can I know why you are doing this? And he replied, it seems I'm finding out what all things I don't need to be happy. I'm finding out what all things I don't need to be happy. Fill your requirements. Don't go for unnecessary things which don't add meaning or value. Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda, my teacher, he used to say, comfort comes as a guest. Comfort comes as a guest. Lingers to be a host. And stays to enslave us. Be careful. Comfort comes as a guest, lingers to be a host, and stays to enslave us. Always ask yourself this question: is it a need or is it a comfort? Be careful of comfort. I'm not saying don't have comfort. Go for comfort, but beware. Why? Comfort comes as a guest, lingers to be a host, and stays to enslave us. Don't become a slave for anything. Free your mind so that it can walk towards the higher and go for nobler pursuits, the highest of it being the realization of who you are. This pursuit of inquiry into the self and finding out one's true nature is possible when you free the mind of its distractions and pursuits. A mind which is distracted, a mind which is continuously disturbance, wanting this or that, can never quieten itself to go into subtler pursuits. The quieter the mind, the deeper can be the thought. The quieter the mind, the pursuit of knowledge can be more clearer. Now going to the next verse, Sri Shankaracharya, he takes up another of our craving, another of our distraction. And then he looks straight at it and attacks it. Now, why is he doing this? He is doing this to help us. Okay? Let us read the verse first and then we'll see the meaning.
नारीस्तनभरनाभिदेशं दृष्ट्वा मागा मोहावेशम् एतन्मां सवसादिविकारं मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि रक्षति डुक्रिन्करणे
नारीस्तनभरनाभिदेशं दृष्ट्वा मागा मोहावेशम्. Nari means woman. Shankaracharya is talking about woman because all his disciples who are walking with him were men. Okay? Now what Shankaracharya says about women, which men should reflect upon, women also should reflect upon those attractiveness of men. Okay? What is he saying? Nari stana bhara nabhi desham. Stana is breast, stana is bosom, stana bhara, that full breast. Nabhi desham. Nabhi is navel. In other words, what he is referring to is referring to the man's weakness to sensuously objectify women. It is not that men only objectify women, women also objectify men. Okay? The man, this is triggered by nature. It is not that man wants to think. It's not like that. Nature is there. Creation has to happen. So therefore, men's attraction to women and women's attraction to men, this is there. This is there not just in the human species, it is there also in the animal species. It is there in every species. That is how creation goes on. But the preoccupation of the mind, Nari stanabhara nabhi desham drishtva maga moha vesham. Seeing that, don't fall into blinding delusion. Don't fall into maddening, frenzied delusion. What do you mean? Don't fall into... See, moha vesham, avesha is there. What is avesha? Avesha is when you don't have control over yourself. That's called avesha. So usually the word avesha is used when some bhuta or pishacha enters. So behaving, in a very, very uncontrolled, behaving in a totally illogical, behaving in totally the most absurd manner. Then we say avesha, some avesha. He's not in control. The person is doing this, and suddenly boosh, falls down. And then keeps on shaking his head. So many things the person is doing. What is the matter? Some avesha has happened. Some emotional something has happened. That's what actually. It goes round and round. The same way, let the mind not go into avesha. Your mind should be under your control. Because it is your mind. If my mind I can't control, then why do you call it my mind? So imagining all possible pleasures, let not the mind go into blinding delusion. Drishtva maga moha vesha. Same way women also. What is attractive for men in women, he has stated. What is attractive for women in men also is there. Wavy muscles, so many packs, this, that, broad chest. Oh, look how masculine is. All those things are also there. Don't go into maddening delusion. Why? Etan mamsa vasadi vikar. Yes, this looks very, very attractive. For man to women and women to men. This becomes very attractive. There's no doubt about it. Why? Because it is naturally propelled. It is biologically propelled. It is instinctive. Swamiji, if it is naturally propelled, biologically present, instinctive, if it is natural, why go against it? This is natural to have this question. Why go against it? Remember, what is natural and what is a privilege for the lower levels of evolution, for the animals, for the birds. What is natural there? And what is instinctive there? It is natural there. But when you come to be a human being, you have to have the mastery over yourself. Otherwise, don't call yourself a human being. If you are a human being, if you have intelligence, if you have a capacity to control your thoughts, not Swamiji, I don't have capacity to control my thoughts, then don't call yourself a human being. You're an animal then. And as a seeker, as a spiritual seeker, if you want to have your attention on the higher, if you want to evolve, if you want to go beyond the baser instincts, if you want to have the dignity of humanness in you, and want to attain higher things, and if you want to go beyond all these things, then what you should do? Then use your intelligence and reflect upon what is it that you are attracted to. Reflect, use your intelligence. That's what Shankaracharya advises us. Etan mamsa vasadi vikara. This is nothing but a vikara. Vikara means modification. Vikara of what? Mamsa. Mamsa is muscle. Mamsa is muscle, flesh. Vasa. Mamsa, then vasa. What is vasa? Fat. This is nothing but fat and flesh appearing in a certain form. What is actual happiness there? In this way, manasi vichintaya varam varam. In this way, reflect upon it. Varam means what? Bar, what you say, no? But in Tamil, varam means, vara is week. Varam means once in a week. It is not once in a week. It is again and again. Why again and again? Because as we have lived many lives, we have lived in this way. And therefore, to create a change there is not easy. What is so instinctive, if you want to change, then it takes a lot of effort. It is not that because it is natural, we should allow it. Just because something is natural for a different reason and for a different purpose, at a different level, for different creatures, for different beings, but as one is human, one needs to think what is right, what is not right, and go accordingly. The ability to control the lower impulses and rise higher is a glory of a human being. This a human being should be able to do. This is called as Pratipaksha Bhavana. This is a technical term which is used in the Yoga Shastra. Pratipaksha Bhavana. Pratipaksha Bhavana means, Paksha means side. Pratipaksha, the other side. Meaning, there is a natural tendency where we think there is happiness. Pratipaksha means what? You look at the other side. Inquire for yourself if it is true. And then get out of these lower instincts. Now, let us do a little more inquiry. First of all, let us ask this question. Is this kind of inquiry required? Is it required? Swamiji, our inquiry should be about God, not of such kind of things. But if our mind is in such kind of things, it will never be able to rise up. If we are not able to defocus from the lower, we will never rise to the higher. Number one. Number two, is this a right way to look at the other person? Is it right to look at the other person in a mere physical way? Is it justified? Is a human being to be looked at only in a physical way? Should we not look deeper? Should we not rise higher? If we are going to objectify a person, man or woman, either gender, either way, if we are going to objectify a person and consider the person only as an object of pleasure, is it right? Is it dignified? Should that be the way we are thinking? Should we not give respect to the person who's more than a body? And finally, who is the person? Whether it is a man or a woman, who is the person? This body comes, this body goes, but deeper than this is the person. If we are able to connect with the deeper person of the external persona, then we have connected with the person. If we are lost up in the externality, then we have not found the person. That's the second point. And finally, what is the beauty in the beauty? Give a thought to it. The body which we think is that beauty, or what we think is that something which is looking beautiful, is that beauty in the body? Or is there something because of which the beauty is there? A person is a person as long as there is life in that. If that life is not there, where is the beauty? Anything is there because of life. And should we not explore what is that which gives life, because of which there is beauty, because of which there is activity, because of which there is everything possible? In this way, if a person can explore deeper, then there is true spirituality. Of course, there are people who are able to master those instincts and go higher and go deeper. But Swamiji, if everyone were to think like this, will there be marriage be there? Will there be creation be there? Will there be children be there? Now, please note this point, that this is not decrying men and women coming together to the sacred institution of marriage, but this is a decrying of the human weakness to objectify the person as an object of pleasure. You all must have heard of the concept of brahmacharya, right? That it depends on the different levels one can practice. There are some who are able to go beyond it. And take, when we say go beyond it means what? They have found a deeper pursuit whereby all these things are sublimated. Now, even in the institution of marriage, there is brahmacharya. And what is in the institution of marriage brahmacharya? Brahmacharya is in the institution of marriage coming together for the sake of progeny and not treating the other person as an object of pleasure. This is the sacredness of the Indian thought. Do not objectify a person. Give respect to that person. See the divinity in the person. And if at all there is a need to come together, the coming together is for the sake of progeny. Sake of progeny? For the sake of the next generation. This is the Indian thinking. And if someone wishes to come out, yes, these instincts are there. But if somebody wants to come out of it, then what should one do? Do the Pratipaksha Bhavana. What is it I am attracted to? Long back, when I became a brahmachari, meaning when I became brahmachari, I went to the ashram, studied 2 years, our Vedanta course, Sandipani Vedanta course, I studied, and then decided to walk a full time dedicated to spirituality. So we have a course called Sandipani Vedanta course, 2 years course, where we study the entire Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, many texts of the Shastra. We go deeper. So I had gone for that, inspired by Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, and then dedicated myself to spiritual life. Then we are given different place where we are, and then we serve the society there. That was when I was probably 19 years or 18, 19 years, 20 years. I became and I was posted to a place called as Kodaikanal. Know Kodaikanal? Ooty, Kodaikanal. The Kodaikanal. A hill station. Kodaikanal, yes. A hill station. Beautiful place. Full of natural beauty. But very remote. I'm talking of the 1989, around that time. Very remote. That place used to become full in the summer season. Because a lot of, various people coming and all that, full. The moment summer is over, the whole Kodaikanal will become empty. And the people who are working in Kodaikanal are actually from villages, from so many places. So I was posted to Kodaikanal. There was a place in Kodaikanal, there's a place called Observatory. I don't know if anyone of you got there. Right on the top. Very cold. Observatory. I was posted there. And then local classes you go, start local. First go to the villages nearby, start Balivara classes for children. For the Yuva Kendra, for the youth, you start some classes. Like that, started a few classes. 1 year, 2 year, I started putting on weight. I was very thin. I started putting on weight. Then I had gone for, we go for this lectures series. Interesting, I went for Bhaja Govindam lectures. From Kodaikanal down you go, there's a place called Vattalagundu. Okay? I had gone to that place and given some lectures on Bhaja Govindam. And then it was Brahmachariji, they called Swamiji only. Swamiji, you have put on weight. What is the matter? Suddenly, what is the matter? I said, no, nothing. The next, again weight. Swamiji should do a checkup. So at that time when they said I should do a checkup, I was in Kodaikanal. Okay. Then I asked, that person was very well known to me. Her name is Usha. And they run what you call this, the dispensary where they check for blood and all those. What do you call that? Pathological lab. She was running a lab. So she told me, if you can send for testing, if you can send that urine sample, I can check it out and tell you what is the matter. I am in Kodaikanal, right on top. Vattalagundu is a few hours down. How to send it down there? So naturally, I had to find out where to send. There was one person who was saying he's going to Vattalagundu, a member of our study class. He said he's going there. I said, I will send, but I have to send. It's not a book or something I can. So I thought, let me do something. I asked a neighbor nearby, some children, all those things. Any nice small bottle you have? I said, what kind of bottle? He brought out 4 or 5 bottles, that fellow. There was a nice bottle, very kind of, looked like a scent bottle only. Nice bottle. I took it. Then whatever has to be filled up, I filled it. Then how to, this also I can't send like that. I found a nice dabba, card, some box or something like that. I took that. That got a nice cover. I found some nice cloth also. And inside that dabba, if you put like this, it will keep shaking and all those things. Not a good thing. Found a velvet cloth. Put it inside. And this nicely covered. And then on top of it, a cloth. As though some nice present or something like that. Put some ribbon and all those things also. And then I gave Sundaraman. I gave Sundaraman ji. Then address also I had to put. So I put Miss Usha. Okay. Vatalagundu. Post box number. Etc. etc. I put there. And I sent to him. Kodaikanal to Vatalagundu takes 3 hours. Goes down. So he was keeping this. Curiosity kills the cat. What is our Swamiji? What has he sent? Nice box, ठीक है. To whom is he sent? Miss Usha. What is he sending to Miss Usha? So after some time, he thought he should. Who will know what is? I'll pack it up. He opened it. First he opened that ribbon. Nice dabba is there. Huh? Opened that dabba. Nice beautiful velvet cloth covering. Opened that also. Such a cute bottle. Aha! Our Swamiji is sending to Miss Usha. Looks like beautiful. No, golden yellow perfume. How will anyone know whether I would take a little bit of perfume? Opened it. Take a little. Oh God! Why I am telling all these things? What is there inside that you have to see? Oh, such a beauty! Just dissect for yourself. Don't do anything physically. Mentally think what is there. 5 liters of blood. Interesting. 216 bones. 600 muscles. Anything interesting? Lots of flesh. Fat. Whether it is a man's body or whether it's a woman's body. Covered with nice package called skin. Which is interesting. Please think. Give a thought. This is not a criticism. This is not insulting. It's not an insult. It is our delusion being hammered. Really speaking, what we are attracted to is that spark of life which expresses. That is the most attractive thing. If not for that life, whether the flesh or the fat or the bones or the muscle or the skin, nothing is interesting. Nothing can be interesting. It's a little bit of that expression of that consciousness manifesting as life which gives that sense of beauty. Take your attention from the external to the deeper and divinize your vision of the other person. Divinize your vision. The other person is divine only. It is divinity manifesting through all these matter. Don't lose your attention on the matter. Go beyond. Look at the divinity. Purify your vision. Give respect. Give dignity. Give nobility to yourself by thinking rightly. Forget about mamsa, forget about this, forget about that. But really, shall I tell you, this mamsa, this flesh and fat and bone and marrow and blood and all those things, actually what they are, you know? They are tomato and potato plus carrot plus beetroot, all of them put together only is all these things. Agree or disagree? Yes. It is rice and wheat and banana and apple. All these things only are becoming our body, is it not? And finally, what happens to the body? It goes back and becomes potato and rice and what we are eating. Swamiji, don't tell all these things. What we are eating, it's this. Finally, it is the star dust, dust of the stars. That is what everything is. In this, what is beauty is the divinity. See that. See that. That is the beauty of the beauty. What is giving us beauty is that spark of God in each one of us. See that shining through the eyes, expressing through the smile. That is the beauty. Go to that in-depth beauty. But if you don't go and you stay with the superficial, then you are no less than an animal. Whether you want to be an animal or whether you want to be a human or whether you want to be divine, it all depends on our vision. With an animalistic vision, we become an animal. With a divine vision, we become divine. Free the mind of its preoccupations and go and realize the divinity within. This is the call of Shankaracharya. He is so compassionately telling all these things because he knows our weakness. Not that these are his weakness. He knows our weakness. And out of compassion, he is telling us, hey, you think like this and get out of your limitations. You can do it. You don't have to be remaining, you don't have to remain with the animalistic vision. You can divinize your thoughts. Naristanabhara nabhidesham drishtva maga moha vesham yetan mamsavasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam Bhaja Govindam Vindam Bhaja Mudhamate Sannihite Kali Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrinkarane Manasi Vichintaya Varam Varam. Why Varam Varam is said there? Why again and again is said there? Again and again is said there because we are used to this kind of lower vision, lower thinking. Used to, not just because now we are used to. It's not like that. For lives after lives we have been thinking in this way. And therefore to change any thought which is so deep in us, we have to strengthen the opposite thought. We are used to a certain thinking. Life after life, we have been doing this kind of thinking. Now you have to change it. How do you change it? You can't just will and wish for things to happen. You have to make it happen. And how do you make it happen? You have to make it happen by creating the opposite thought. Pratipaksha bhavana. Pratipaksha. So far you are used to seeing only pleasure there. Now you see the other side. And that thinking again and again bring it to your mind. Whenever the mind slips to its weaknesses, out of its earlier modes of thinking, out of its earlier forceful ways of thinking which are so instinctive to it, not because it is to be there, but because it has been the practice of the mind to feel and think like this for so long, as always. Now what you do? In order to correct that mind, you start the opposite kind of thinking. Whenever it says there is joy, there is beauty there, you tell yourself, where is the joy? Where is the beauty? It is in your imagination. The real beauty is beyond. See that. Tell yourself again and again. My dear friends, you don't have to go and tell this to everyone. You understand? Then Swamiji, why are you telling us? Because you have got an interest. You have got an inclination. Because you have. Everything is not meant for everyone. Yes, those who seek this kind of deep knowledge, you can give them. Otherwise, you practice for yourself. The knowledge is not meant for all. First, knowledge is meant for you. When you change yourself and somebody comes and says, where did you find this kind of thinking? How is you are thinking differently? Then tell, there is one young boy. His name is Adi Shankaracharya. He wrote a beautiful text. I studied that wonderful text. And then direct the person here. You understand? You found something interesting. Chalo, all of you come. No, don't do that. First you gain mastery over the subject. And first see whether you are able to correct your thinking. If we can't correct our own thinking, how can we help others to change their thinking? First light the light in yourself. Then it can spread around. Alright. Swamiji, one more question. If everyone thinks like this, what will happen, Swamiji? Everyone won't think like that. Even we who have gained this knowledge cannot change our thinking immediately. It will take its time. Because it is evolution, not revolution. Evolution, not revolution. Evolution always takes its time. Mental evolution takes the maximum time. To bring out any change in our thinking process will take its own time. But you have to be at it. Manasi vichintaya varam varam. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kali, Nahi Rakshati Dukrin Karane. We'll read this verse once and conclude. Naristana bharanabhidesham drishtva maga moha vesham etan mam savasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam bhaja govindam Govindam bhaja mudhamate Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukrinkarane nahi nahi rakshati dukrinkarane. Nahi nahi rakshati dukrinkarane means, what does it mean? Grammar rules are not going to save you. Any kind of lower knowledge will not protect you. Wake up to the higher knowledge. Wake up to the higher knowledge. Wake up to the higher knowledge of the self. Wake up to the higher knowledge of what is reality. Wake up to the spiritual wisdom. In Shastras, the name given for this higher knowledge is Paravidya. Paravidya. Para. Vidya. Knowledge which is para. Para is higher. And all other knowledge other than this is called as Aparavidya. So Paravidya, Aparavidya. So you have the famous discussion happening in the Mundaka Upanishad. Shaunako Havai Mahashalaha. There was a great, rich, very capable person of the world. His name was Shaunaka. He went to the Guru Angirasa and he asked a question. Kasmin bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavatiti. What is that knowing which I will know everything? What is that knowing which I will know everything? Mundaka Upanishad. All the Upanishads are called Vedanta. So all these Upanishads you find it usually in the end of the Vedas. So they are called Vedanta, where they take up these kind of philosophical questions. What is that knowing which everything will be known? It is not just here only the discussion is there. What is that one theory, one law, knowing which all theories are included in it? Remember who started this inquiry? What is that one theory which should be integrate electromagnetism, gravitation, light, everything should integrate. It should explain every theory. One theory for everything. So in the Upanishad you have this question. What is that knowing which everything else can be known? And then that Rishi Angiras, he gives, knowledge is of two types. Okay? Dve vidye veditavye. There are two knowledges which can be known, which should be known. One is called as Aparavidya, another is called Paravidya. And then what is Aparavidya? Rigvedo, Yajurvedo, Samavedo, Tarvavedaha, Shiksha, Kalpo, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Chandaka, Jyotisham iti. Meaning all possible knowledges, he says. This is all coming under Aparavidya. Then what is that? Atapara. Now I shall explain to you the highest knowledge. Because what was the question? What is that knowing which everything can be known? Now I shall tell you the highest knowledge. Atapara. Yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate, by which that imperishable can be known. Knowing that imperishable, all perishables are known. Knowing H2O, you will know all waves. Knowing H2O, you will know all bubbles. Wave is perishable. Bubble is perishable. H2O is not perishable. I shall tell you that. And then the discussion happens. Yattad adreshyam, agrahyam, agotram, avaranam, achakshustrotram, tatapanipadam, nityam, vibhum, sarvagatam, susukshmam. Discussion goes. The whole Upanishad goes. This is called as Paravidya. And Dukrinkarane refers to Aparavidya. That's only an example. Okay? And if you want to free your mind for Paravidya, free your mind from lower impulses. Free your mind. Otherwise you cannot do that. That's a very subtle thing. And therefore, freeing the mind of dhanagama trishna, right? Manasi vichintaya varam varam. Those of you who are new for these kind of things, suddenly you may be overwhelmed by all these things, okay? Suddenly overwhelmed. What? So many things. All new things. Don't be concerned. Don't be worried. For everything there is a first day. Probably for you, this is the first day. Then as you go listening, as you think, as you go deeper and deeper, everything will become clear. Because this is a very logical, super logical, structured, I'm not saying philosophy, super logical, structured knowledge system. For every question, there is an answer. But you should ask the question. Before asking the question, if I give the answer, then it is meaningless. And you have to think for yourself. Okay? But you are all doing well. Keep on. Ensure that every day, whatever we study, you complete it. That is important. I cannot force you, but you all come here for a purpose. Make the best of it. Okay? All right. Purnamada Purnamidam Nat Purnamudachyate Purnasya
Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti
Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.